Few indie games share the Kickstarter success story that Shovel Knight had. It's the one that made hundreds of honest, aspiring game teams and scan artists give the platform a go. Some might even call it overrated. But I disagree. Shovel Knight deserves the praise it gets. Nothing over about it, it's rated. This version, Treasure Trove, is the complete version of the game and features 4 different story campaigns. Shovel of Hope is the main original mode where you control Shovel Knight himself, fighting the Order of No Quarters to reach the Tower of Fate and defeat the Enchantress. It takes inspiration from a few classic NES games, with the Mega Man, Adventure of Link and DuckTales influences being particularly strong. And it delivers that style of gameplay while being a lot more accessible and less unforgiving than the first few sources. The game looks simple until you try it out. Even though it was designed for modern platforms, the controls are limited to a few buttons and that works great most of the time. There is a lot of focus on bouncing with your shovel and collecting treasures, which you use to buy tools and upgrades that help really soften the otherwise hardcore difficulty of the game. Shovel Knight is not an easy game, but it's not super difficult either, unless you let it be. A lot of optional abilities, healing chalices and upgrades exist, and any potential frustration it could have with the game is remedied by the game itself. Losing treasures when you die is too frustrating? You can recover everything if you go back to the spot you died in. And even if you don't recover it, everything you need treasure for only needs to be bought once. So you can find one of the first levels over and over for gems and buy everything you can before attempting a new level. Then losing treasure isn't gonna be a big problem anymore. Most levels will have a blue chest that spawns this Jack Sparrow looking guy who will sell you a new ability. But even this is no biggie because if you can't afford it right away, the ability will be up for sale back in the village. And if you don't fight him in a level, the ability will be added to the town shop after you clear the level. Far away enemies being annoying? Use a fireball ability you can buy. Having trouble with boss attack patterns? You can buy and stock 2 healing items. The point I'm trying to make is you can have the game be as punishing as you like, but you can also make use of all these resources and tools you spend treasures on to the point you will reach the end credits with enough persistence. It makes Shovel Knight way more flexible than the games it was inspired by. Difficulty of the levels themselves is going to vary a lot. Aside from King's Knight stage being the obvious recommended first level, I never felt like there was a very clear difficulty progression. In fact, one of the few complaints I have is that 2 of the first set of levels in the game are probably the most frustrating in the entire game, and they come back to back, a bit of a rough start. This is one of those games that feature instant death spikes, which, as I've mentioned in my Ori and the Blind Forest review, is a design staple I absolutely hate. Still, it turned out to be a lot less obnoxious than I feared. The level design is more clever than that, with way more variety and hazard mechanics tied to the theme of each level. Definitely very Mega Man inspired, but a little less cruel. The music is one of the best chiptune soundtracks in gaming, period. If you can't find more than 2 tracks you like, then you're not even a real gamer. You should be ashamed and delete all your consoles. Aside from the placement of the hardest levels, my biggest complaint is that you need to press up and the attack button to use an ability. I get it that's how it was done in Castlevania, but for some of the challenges in Shovel Knight, it can be easy to mess up the movement of the D-pad and kill yourself trying to use some of the abilities. The other 3 campaigns add substantial playtime to the short game. King of Cards breaks platforming with sections of card minigames. The card game is unique to this game, but the rules are not complicated. Spectre of Torment has a bit of Ninja Gaiden in it, with wall jumping and a lot of cool moves that give you way more mobility than playing a Shovel Knight. Plague Knight's campaign just sucks. It's the opposite of Spectre of Torment. Even basic platforming becomes clunky as hell, and I'd rather play something like, I don't know, Psycho Fox on Master System than whatever they were trying with this. Anyway, just beating Shovel of Hope can be done in 1 or 2 gaming sections, but between completing every side quest and extra campaigns in mode, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove has enough content to justify its price. And if you'd rather just buy Shovel of Hope, hey, that's totally fine. You're still getting a game that combines all the good aspects of NES era side-scrollers and refines them. This review is my submission to the review crew of the Retro Hangover podcast community, and I have to rate this game. Game Over Hell gives Shovel Knight Treasure Trove the rating of 9 out of 10. Simply put, the only way you cannot enjoy Shovel Knight is if you don't like the games that challenge you, or if you just hate 8-bit style retro games. Thanks for watching and see you next time.